I disagree with how far you've gone with it, Anton, in the sense of your squad is definitely looking deeper and stronger than Liverpool, there's no doubt. But I don't think Slot's looking at his squad and going, it's so bad, I'm going to put 7 kids on the bench who have never played a second of senior football. That, for me,
is lunacy, Terry.
It is lunacy. It's ridiculous. Especially, by the way, if you'd have won your last 6 games and you were top of the league by 8 points and you did it, it's probably a little bit more acceptable. But even then, it was just, there was no way you could turn that game around. For me, that was almost, listen, it almost felt like sabotage. It almost felt like sabotage when you actually, it was like, why would you do that? No one else did it tonight. No one.
And you know what? If we talk about mentality, Terry. Winning breeds winning mentality, and just throwing games like that, like
Wait, you know what? Do you think there's an element of he's trying to take some of these players that are under immense pressure under the spotlight, away from the spotlight? Maybe he's being a bit.
No, because the thing is, even if
Palace, we're playing in front of our own fan base.
You got to win the game.
The thing is, even if you do that,
time to play some of these players.
Look, I'll be really blunt with you boys. This man delivered you a title. I would not be second guessing or calling for him out at all. If there's a precedent if there's no precedent for managers who've won the league, so they not even make it through the first 10 games of the next season. You guys need to calm down and allow this thing to gel. Because the more pressure you're going to put on this team, the more it's going to start to cave in. You guys just got to kind of just chill out.
Sorry, no. The rivals love to say 450 spent. The rivals love to say we spent £450 million, broke the record twice, and you're saying we can't put pressure on the players.
Yeah, that's on Hughes and Edwards.
Is that on?
You keep saying the chef asked for a specific menu, and you bought something completely different. That is not on him. He sent Hughes and Edwards with a shopping list.
Guys. Sorry, Anton. Let the Liverpool fans respond because the viewers don't hear what.
Basing his whole argument based off of fallacy. How can you say that's not
fallacy
for these players? Based off what?
Because the fact that he's playing a system that these players don't fit into. If he's
problem.
The man is a professional manager. There's no way that he requested players that didn't fit into his system. Like there's a point where like the management goes like, and Terry's brought this up before. I feel like Liverpool doesn't buy players from managers. They buy players for the club and players that they want to invest in for the long term. That way that managers can come in and out potentially in it. And you're not completely solely focusing it around them. I just feel like that's what this was. And they didn't really invest in a manager who's won you the league already without any signings. And for anybody who like for me, you needed to kind of just listen to him and let him be like, hey, you won me a league. What do you need? I personally don't think that he needed 2 strikers, both of which costed over 200 something combined. You would rather have a solid left winger to have better. You guys can't. You know what? I just made a video called "Anton Right, Anton Wrong," where I've been on certain panels like this when I'm saying stuff and you're all shaking your heads, and I watch back and you guys all look silly because I was right. Listen to me. I'm actually telling you. Listen,
we didn't need 2 strikers when we had.
That you're saying is right. How did we not need 2 strikers? Nunes left.
Nunes wants to leave, and the situation.
You bought Ekitike, who's proven to be the better striker. At that point, buy yourself like a striker who's willing to be kind of an understudy, who's filling, who's maybe a good veteran player. Someone like
Ekitike was the understudy.
Ekitike is clearly the better player, and then you went ahead and bought.
Not at the time we signed him. Not at the time.
One has 7 goals, one has 1. Count to the math.
Guys, let me just jump in for a minute.
He had 15 Bundesliga goals.
Let me jump in. Anton, how can you say that they shouldn't call for a manager's head because of what he's done before and how early it is, but yet you're willing, in the same amount of games, to just say that it's clear that Ekitike is better than Isak?
Yeah. I mean, because I felt like instead, this is the different sort of thing. Instead of buying an Isak, they should have bought Rodrigo, someone on the left, or they should have gone in for Guehi earlier than they did, or find an alternative for Guehi so they weren't left short at the back. Their depth is not good enough to compete on all fronts, and instead you spent all the summer chasing after one man who has costed you £130 million. And that £130 million could be spent on 3-4 different players, that would
didn't
have
chase
fit
after
more
him, though.
better suited his system. They did. They
No, they didn't.
inappropriately
They
did
put-
to one
they
point.
put an
we
offer.
put, so the,
You put
okay,
a bid
no, no,
right at
Ash,
the
you
start
would
of the
explain it
window.
better, 'cause you're
They put a
Newcastle.
bid at the start of the window, and then to say that they wanted Isak, and us as Newcastle said, we will sell you Isak once we get a replacement for him.
Right.
Liverpool just went away from that situation because they knew exactly what
No,
happened.
but at the same
But
time,
the window,
at the
that
same
we
time,
then
though, they
started
didn't go. They didn't go and strengthen anywhere else. They could have spent that money, been like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna go get myself a Rodrigo. I'm
Okay,
gonna go
well,
get myself
Anton,
Mark
Anton,
Gahey while I'm waiting.
Rodrigo's
And
staying,
later
he
on,
didn't
if
wanna
Isak
leave.
comes available, be like, well, it's too late. We're moved on.
If a player
That's
said he
what a
doesn't
big
want to
club
leave, then he
does.
can't leave.
You know something?
Okay.
These players
Okay,
didn't
so-
play today.
Okay.
To me, these players didn't play today. It's really on Arne Slot for everything that's been going on for the last 6-7 games.
Thank you.
These individual players, a new manager can come in and turn it around for them. But I don't think saying sack the manager, that's not the conversation. The conversation is, what are you doing to try to solve problems? Because it doesn't seem like he's doing anything to try to solve these problems.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone says
That's
something
why I
very
said I
logical
give him
right
until
now.
Saturday. Show me that at least performance-wise, you're attempting to change shit around. Because if you ain't changing shit around, then you got to go, buddy. It's as simple as that. So this Saturday for me, this Aston Villa game is the thing. I get that Anton is used to phases and being patient and all this, but we're not patient. We just spent 450 million. We expect to win stuff. We expect to be successful. So
To be
we're
fair,
not going
you
to
guys are a
we're not
patient
gonna give
fan base.
anyone any time, any leeway. None of this shit. You cannot lose 8 games out of 9 as the Liverpool manager and expect to maintain your job. And number 2, Terry gets upset when people do narratives. Anton just ran 7 media narratives in a row about Liverpool Football Club. At the time of signing, Ekitike was a project signing, looked at just like Sesko. We needed 2 strikers. We went and signed the ready-made striker because we want to win the league, and the project striker. We signed Kerkez because that's our style of football. He's basically a younger version of Robertson. So once again, if I give someone Wagyu beef and he attempts to make apple pie with it, he's the shit chef. I'm not shit for giving him the Wagyu beef.
Do you know why I completely agree in everything you said? Is because it's exactly what we tried to do. We tried to sign Ekitike and keep Isak ourselves, because at the end of the day, Isak's a proven Premier League striker. You bring an Ekitike in, you could have been into October, and Ekitike's just flopped through September into October. But what happens is you brought in a proven Premier League striker as Isak. Granted, he does have fitness problems, but nevertheless, you know what you're getting with him. So that's why you've done that. Ekitike is one for the future, and you've done right. Obviously, no one could have seen Wirtz and Isak having an absolute howler, but I personally think that they will turn it around. And
Except
I
for
think
me.
by the end of the season that they'll become good. It's just
I hear that, guys.
Go.
I just wanted. We haven't. Yeah, I'll come to you. I'm going to go to Sard first because Sard didn't get to speak on the last show, and then I'll come to you, bro.